You see The Social Network? The Indian guy is a white guy. They use brown face makeup.
No, I read that he's 1/16th Indian.
We're all 1/16 something. I'm probably 1/16 black. You think they're gonna let me play Blade?
In the episode of Indians on TV from the original Netflix show Master of None, Dev, the main character, is faced with multiple racial obstacles that he must overcome to progress in his acting career. In the beginning of the show, Dev is dismissed from an audition due to his refusal to perform a stereotypical Indian accent. Shortly after, he meets with his friend Ravi at a coffee shop and begins to speak with him about the details of the audition. This leads to the heart of the conversation, where the placement of objects and the two characters highlight a difference of opinion that illustrates the conflicting views of the television industry regarding racial and economical dilemmas. The scene revolves around the presentation of the characters' differing viewpoints. Dev argues that Indian actors should not be subjected to stereotypical roles, while Ravi argues that these roles are a good source of income that they should not undervalue. Their difference of opinion is displayed through the symmetrical placement of the objects between them, such as their cups of coffee and their own placement within the scene. This symmetry also demonstrates that there is not a clear side that is completely correct or flawless. It is this complexity that characterizes the television industry as economically driven, yet affected by racial dilemmas. Just as the episode later mentions, if there is more than one Indian on a television show, it is considered an Indian TV show, which white industry executives throughout the episode argue do not draw in as many viewers. The similarities in validity of opinion are reflected of the television industry as presented by the scene. Season 2, Episode 1, From One Day at a Time, also tackles a similar issue as Master of None, using similar methods. The issue being racism. The episode puts the racism of Cuban Americans into conversation using a Cuban American family and comedic relief to talk about the otherwise difficult topics one would prefer to abstain from discussing. Both Master of None and One Day at a Time use comedy to not only highlight the negative effects of stereotypes, but also to provide a comforting environment to address these racial issues. In Ana Sofia Palaez's article, Meet the Woman Who Gave One Day at a Time Its Bicultural Flavor, she documents Gloria Calderon, the writer of One Day at a Time, describing how the show is taking advantage of trends from the last 15 or 20 years around the Seinfeld era, about being funny and dropping any political or social commentary references when available. On the surface, the coffee shop seems bland because of its simple camera angles and lack of movement between characters. It is this aspect, however, that creates meaning and draws the audience's attention towards the discussion at hand and nothing else. In this way, the scene can portray deep, complex problems about the television industry while holding on to the attention of the viewers. Ultimately, this episode of Master of None puts into conversation a few of the stereotypical problems within our society that need to be addressed.